IPMNation.com.
Hi, I'm Sadi Khan from the Jam Factory, and you are listening to the web's best music on IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet with Tim Martin is over there, working the board, recording the show.
Howdy.
Howdy, Tim. Texas Tim says howdy. If you need a DJ for your event, definitely contact Tim. He does a great job. Go to centralnhevents.com, mention Shindig, and he'll give you the Shindig discount, centralnhevents.com. And Tim has his picture up there so you can see him. He's a handsome devil, and as our new friend, Mr. Nick said, he'll give him a whirl. He's handsome. Give him a whirl. Little inside joke, I guess, but unless you're at last week's show. But anyway, and with me today, this is kind of an unusual show. With me today is Sadi Khan from the Jam Factory. Not a band. The Jam Factory is not a band, but it's actually a venue. And what do you do there? You book the bands? You run the whole thing?
Well, actually, the Jam Factory is more than just a venue. We're an original music organization.
Excellent.
Yeah, we are here to pull together the area, basically an hour out in all directions from Manchester, to bring all the original musicians together, help them grow, network them together, and really make a great scene.
Very cool. Good. And you actually record the bands that you have play at when you do these shows, the Jam Factory shows. You actually record both audio and video?
Well, what it is we have a pretty basic setup right now, pending funding to get better.
Yeah.
We take videos of the bands, song length.
Yeah.
And then I take the videos and I strip off the video part, turn them into audio files, and enhance them because I'm a producer as well.
Okay.
And they make for pretty darn good live recordings. And for many of our bands who don't have anything, it gives them a chance to have a presence.
Excellent. Well, you brought some tunes tonight. I'm really looking forward to hearing how you do all this and what goes into it. But you did bring some recordings tonight for the show. What do you want to play first? What do you want to start the show with?
Well, I would like to start the show with a band from around where you are.
Okay.
Out of Laconia is a band called The Glorious Noise.
Know them well. We've had them on the show. And actually, Mike Laughlin from The Glorious Noise is the original host of this program.
Really?
He was the original Local Outbreak host, yeah.
I didn't know that. He never told me.
Yeah. All right, very cool. Glorious Noise here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here with Sadi Khan from the Jam Factory. And just to clarify, if you're joining us late, the Jam Factory is not a band, but actually an organization. And they do a lot of live music and do a lot in the local scene, in the New Hampshire scene. And where do your shows occur, your live shows?
Well, our venue space is inside of Rack's Billiards. Just on Elm Street in the middle of Manchester.
Okay. And how long have you been doing shows there?
Oh, wow. Well, we've been doing it since June of 2010. We're getting up 2 years old.
Oh, very good. Now, did the Jam Factory as an organization, did it exist prior to beginning to do shows at Rack's? Or was that the genesis of this whole thing?
Well, what happened is I had been running an open mic at Rack's informally for a few months, basically since the January beforehand. And being a musician myself, I was kind of looking at the scene and going, wait a minute, all we're booking are cover bands. And there's nothing wrong with cover bands, but we have a lot of really good original musicians in the area, and their music is great. So I'm like, all right. We've got this space, which is basically a self-contained room inside of Rack's Billiards. Let's turn this into a venue space that will actually support concerts for that music.
Right.
And I have experience as a paralegal and things like that, so I know how to write forms. So I said, let's make this an incorporated nonprofit. So I gathered up some capable people to be the board, and we went from there.
Oh, very good. So you have a lot of help with this then, right? I mean, are you the main guy? Are you the kind of the CEO of this organization?
We don't have a CEO as such. I mean, I'm sort of a volunteer executive director right now.
Okay.
Because we don't have a lot of funding, although we're about to change that.
Good.
Yeah, we are. We've almost gotten our 501c3, that is to say tax exempt from the IRS application back, and I think things are really going to look up for us at that point.
Very nice. Yep. Very nice. Did you always, I mean, when you started doing the open mics, did you always kind of have it in mind that you wanted to put together an organization to really promote local music, or did that just kind of become a necessity where you thought, well, this is something we need?
I guess I just one day looked at the room and said, we could be so much more than this.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm a pretty socially active person, a very big networker, and I was getting to know people at the open mics I was making the rounds of, and I'm like, wait a minute. There's no support for original music, and I write original music.
Yeah.
I mean, my band Threadweaver, which is on hiatus because I've been more focusing on the Jam Factory than actually putting a band together,
sure,
really didn't have any support either. So I'm like, I'll just do it for us all.
Right. Oh, that's very good. Now, how often do you have shows?
A lot.
At Rack's? It sounds like you're pretty busy.
Oh, yeah. We have, I mean, at the moment, they're 8 to 11, but starting in March, they'll be going 9 to midnight. We have shows every Friday and Saturday night. And I mean every, except for Christmas and New Year's weekend, the last 2 weekends of the year.
Sure.
If there's another time that we don't, it's special and it's posted. Yeah. We also have Sunday afternoon shows from 2 to 5. Those were weekly. They're going to be weekly again. We're in the process of revamping how we handle that.
Okay.
We also host punk, hardcore punk shows from 4 to 7 soon, 5 to 8 once a month on Saturday afternoon. We even host a metal show from 2 to 5 on the second Saturday of each month.
Oh, wow. So you do have a lot going on there.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been trying to kind of just look at the music scene and say, like, okay, who do I have to group together? When's the best place to put them? Let's make sure all these bands get a chance to get heard.
Yeah. So do you have any kind of an idea of how many, since you've started this, because there's a lot of bands around here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any idea how many bands you've had?
I do.
Come through there, yeah.
Well, I mean, I know how many bands I've dealt with because I keep a roster of everybody. I've got databases like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
I actually just did a count yesterday. We have about 60 bands and acts who are on the active roster right now. There are others who have taken a break for whatever reason.
Sure.
And there are some that I've decided would be better playing elsewhere. And I mean, we have... I keep track of them all.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of new bands lately, a lot of new bands out of Concord especially, which has been great, believe me. I mean, I try not to play favorites, but the Concord scene is really looking up.
Yeah.
And I've been bringing them down because from what they tell me, they haven't had basically hardly any places to play at all. And I'm like, well, all right. A lot of really good funk and, rock and just really good jammy stuff.
Yeah, good. Do you how do you find bands, or do they find you? I mean, I know you're always networking, so
it's funny. I place such a high priority on selecting bands who are good people, good personalities, reliable, care. They tend to know people. Every single time I sit down and like, geez, I need 5 more bands. I better go searching on Reverb Nation or something. My band's telling me about 5 more bands.
Right.
It's been great. And they're good bands because they come referred from good people.
Yeah. Now, the shows that you do there at Rax, are they 21 plus? Are they 18 plus?
Some are. If they are on the Friday or Saturday night from 9 to 12 because there's alcohol everywhere, the 21 plus.
Yeah.
The stuff we have on Saturday, either early evening or afternoon, or on Sunday afternoon, are not 21 plus.
Okay. Now, do you have kind of a basic criteria for the bands that play there other than being part of the local scene? I mean,
we do. It's not as stringent as I think some places would be because we're a nonprofit, and while Rax is doing fine from our presence, our focus is not on generating sales as such, but on supporting the music scene.
Yeah.
So my criteria really are, first and foremost, it has to be a group of people who care about music, who are committed to their band, at least in some kind of reasonable manner, and who care about the Jam Factory and the music scene.
Yeah.
Basically, I need them to be nice.
Right.
I mean, it's not like, I don't want them to have an ego at all. In fact, it's kind of good to have some, but, bands have got to really understand they need to be team players because we're all working together to create something here.
Right.
And I've been very fortunate to find a lot of bands like that. So you can imagine what I mean by that. The other criteria is that I would like them to be within our local scene, and I have a 3-tier system for that. If they are within a half an hour of Manchester, they're on our first tier, which means that I could reasonably expect them to draw a local fan base. It's not that I want to worry about the fans, but we can't have a scene if we don't have fans, so at least some of our bands have got to have at least 10 people in the room or something.
Right.
And I'll typically hold a concert which has 2 first-tier bands.
Okay.
So there'll be some people in the room. Then I will frequently bring in a second band who will be between a half an hour and an hour out. I call that second tier. A lot of them are from the outskirts, especially Boston, although it could be from Keene or, say, Laconia, things like that. Because in my experience, especially in this day with gasoline costing as much as it is, people are not going to drive like an hour to a concert most of the time. And I can't fault them for that.
Right.
So, that works out well. In some cases, I will book between an hour and 2 hours, which could be from over the border in Maine, Vermont, down in southern Massachusetts, or even, Rhode Island.
Sure.
I don't do that unless I have a reasonable expectation it's going to help the local scene.
Yeah. Is that like third tier?
Yeah, you could call it that.
Okay, all right.
Beyond 2, I don't book at all.
Right. Are there any bands who can consistently brings a big crowd? I mean, is there anyone who really seems to draw a lot of attention and who especially really seems to have a big following? Who you have there?
Well, I think it's fair to say that. Right now, I feel, and I just want to preface that by saying, I feel like right now local bands don't really understand the mechanics of building a fan base for the most part. But it's not their fault, and I'm trying to teach them as we go along.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of like who got lucky,
Sure.
And bands who have been drawing in a lot of people lately would be Red Letter Reunion out of Concord, The Mills out of Manchester, New Hampshire, Xenois out of Manchester. They have consistently drawn in. Preamble out of Boston manages to draw quite a few number of people because they have a fan base in Merrimack, which is unusual, but they're originally from Merrimack.
Oh, okay.
And there are some other bands I can't quite remember off the top of my head right now, but there are.
Yeah. Now, do you only do bands? Do you ever have solo acoustic artists?
Oh, yeah. I should be clear. We do support solo acts as well.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we were hosting acoustic acts on Sundays, but of course, 2 acoustic acts or 3 acoustic acts wasn't really drawing a lot of people. So I decided I was going to change that. So what I'm doing now, or will be doing as of March, because I book a month ahead in advance, is I'm going to be doing on most of our Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon concerts, which is when I would book acoustic, is I'll book like 2 bands and 2 acoustic acts.
Yeah.
Or 2 bands and one acoustic act, or 3 bands, something like that, depending upon their following.
Yeah.
Because I find that's a good way to kind of mix it up. Because, I mean, with this local scene the way it is for original music, I mean, we're not packing the rooms yet, but I can and do have between 20 and 50 people for an average concert, and that seems to make people pretty happy.
That's good, yeah.
Just trying to get exposure up, and when I cross up the fan bases of bands that are compatible, and all of my concerts have bands that are compatible with each other, and the fan bases are too,
Yeah.
it proves very popular.
Yeah, that's excellent. It sounds like you have a good formula for what you're doing, and you're...
I've done my best to figure out what works for this area, you know.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
make, something out of nothing, so I got to take what makes sense and build from there.
Exactly, and it sounds like you're pretty organized with it too.
I try to be, yeah.
Which is important, which is something that I think is unusual with creative people. I think creative people tend to be less organized.
Yeah.
So it's good that you are organized.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because I'm a musician myself, which gives me insight into what they go through. But
Right.
in running the Jam Factory like this, my own creative drive has kind of had to take a backseat. I think I can say from experience, it is very hard to do both at once.
Really,
It really
yeah,
is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's play another track from the.
Sure.
You brought a bunch of music with you, and again, it's from some of the bands
Yes,
that
I
you've
did.
had in the room, which is very cool. It's awesome that you do that. Well, what do you want to play for the next track?
Well, I would like to take one of my very favorite second-tier bands, Breathing the Void.
Breathing the Void is the name of
That's
the band?
right, out of Boston. Excellent band.
Okay. Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet.
You think you're hot, reality you're not. You ain't no match for what we got. We are the best, put us to the test. After all, you're just a rat. Hail to the king!
100.1, the planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on 100.1, The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here at The Planet with Sadi Khan from the Jam Factory. And we've talked a lot about the Jam Factory, of course, and what you're doing. I do want to ask you about your background a little bit because
Sure.
You did mention earlier that you have a project that's on hiatus right now because you're very focused on the Jam Factory.
Pretty much, yeah.
But is it something that you're going to get back to at some point, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for one thing, right now I have a massive cold, which isn't helping, but I keep saying I'm going to be recording more of the 30 songs I've got.
Yeah.
I just feel like I've got to make sure this gets properly going, and once we get the funding and I get some more volunteers, and I think it'll be easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been a musician for most of my life.
Okay. What's the name of the project again?
Threadweaver. You can go to threadweaver.com.
Oh.
I have all 5 of the songs that I currently have produced. I didn't produce those. Those were done at Rocking Horse Studio over in Pittsfield, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great place. A lot of the guests that we've had on the show talk very highly of Rocking Horse.
They have very high quality standards, believe me.
Now, what kind of material is Threadweaver?
It's mostly rock. It's very difficult to explain. I call it lyrical rock because every single one of them tells a story. Mm-hmm. It's not hard rock by any stretch, but some of it's danceable. I mean, you just have to listen to it and know what I mean.
Okay, cool. Now, is it solo stuff, or do you have other...
No.
Okay.
I got together a full studio band for that one.
Oh, okay.
Rocking Horse was kind enough to help me find them.
Oh, so I assume the songs, though, you wrote everything yourself? Okay.
I did.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Now, do you have any other projects that you've done prior to that? Or because you've been playing music most of your life, you said,
I mean,
right?
I've done a lot of things other than music in my life.
Yeah.
Much of which has helped me, learn how to be able to run the Jam Factory. Mm-hmm. I've worked as a paralegal. I'm trained as a counselor. I mean, I have skills at website design, and I have a computer tech degree.
Oh, very
comes
nice.
all over, and I use every single one of those pretty much every single day.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what about in terms of, you mentioned too that you're also a producer? Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to find the time to really bone up on that, but I have learned quite a bit about it, and I've been mostly putting those skills to use in making the live demos for the Jam Factory. Yeah. And if I had more time, I do want to start doing some more actual recordings for people. I can do acoustic recordings just fine, and that's been easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to rush into that too much.
Sure.
But it's useful skills I've been using.
And talking again about what you're doing presently, you mentioned earlier that a lot of bands, and this is something that comes up a lot on this show, because we kind of assume that most of the audience for a show like this is probably local musicians or people who are either active in the local scene or are interested in it. You mentioned that a lot of artists don't know how to build a following locally.
Yeah.
What is your? Can you give me some of your insight on that? Some of your advice for people who don't know.
Yeah, I would love to, since I do it for all the musicians I talk to. I mean, I try to take every single musician and band under my wing. Yeah. And I have some pretty shocking things to say.
Oh.
The number one thing that I have found, and I would stake my career on this, is people in this area right now are not really that interested in original music, and it's my opinion they're not interested in music at all.
Really?
What they're actually interested in is the experience that they get attached to the music.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. When you go into a venue and you listen to a cover band, what you're getting is the experience you have of every memory you have attached to that song. Mm-hmm. It's comforting, it's soothing, and it's good for you. It is.
Right.
But when people hear about an original band, I mean, they may appreciate art in theory, but it's not as easy for them to take time out of their busy lives to want to engage in that. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no familiarity. There's nothing like that. And so when
that's a good insight.
That's what I found. But it goes beyond that, because, you see, when original musicians do get fans into their shows, I find a lot of them, they just play the music and they're friendly and all, and they just go home and that's it. And then they wonder why nobody comes back and nobody does hits on their websites and everything. And what I try to tell them is, guys, your music is awesome, but that's not what they care about. They would care about you. They would care about how you connect with them.
Right.
They would care about how you make your music relevant to their lives. The bands that I have had in the Jam Factory that are most successful and routinely draw 30, 40 people or more are the ones who do that.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how, you just have to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's equally easy for everybody, but there is a formula for success, and that is you got to grab them by the hearts more than the minds.
Build that relationship with the audience.
Personal relationship with every single fan. And the good news is, if you do that, you will not have to do it alone for long.
Right.
Because the fans, the loyal fans that you get, they'll be like your lieutenants. They will bring their friends in. The buzz will build. It's all about emotion.
Right. I think that's very well said.
All about making people happy.
Yeah. Do you find, too, that you have to kind of explain or encourage bands to really use social networking, social media to expand their fan bases?
It's kind of like you got people who come in who really know how to network and really jump on it.
Yeah.
Like I got one band out of Manchester called the Moodies, who are really, really, really good at networking. They're a regular in the Jam Factories, and I've seen them just jump on everything. I mean, they talk to other bands, they get things going. I mean, I just want to hold them up as a model to everybody else. It's like, yeah. I mean, that's how you do it as far as talking to people.
Sure.
And they put on a pretty good show, too. Now, if you want to talk about who's got amazing friggin' showmanship, well, that would be the Mills out of Manchester. Oh my God! You got to go to the Facebook page and check out the videos I'm going to be posting of their last concert.
Really,
they understand. And also Red Letter Reunion out of Concord. These guys are having an amazing time, and you can tell. And the energy is unbelievable. It's just great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking on any band that doesn't do it, but frankly, if they want to be so successful, this is what they've got to do.
Yeah.
And I will do my best to show that to them.
Yeah. Any success stories where you feel like someone you interacted with someone who really didn't get it and maybe now they do?
I can't really recall offhand. Honestly, most of the bands that I've had either get it or don't.
Yeah.
But it's not like they go anywhere. I mean, I don't push bands. I mean, I tell them, hey guys, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
And they usually are appreciative. I mean, I respect the fact they're going to do things at their own speed.
Right.
And besides, even if they're not necessarily drawing a lot of fans themselves, the fact that they are playing, the fact that people are listening from the bar next door or looking from the street, or the fans of the other bands are looking, it still matters. They're still doing something, and it's important.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the long-term plan for the Jam Factory? Because I know you have, you want to expand to other venues, right? And you have some other...
Well, I certainly have been trying to talk to some other venues.
Yeah.
Some of which I've actually been trying to kind of give a good example to insofar as how you should run a music venue.
Yeah.
I would like to book some of my bands elsewhere, especially since we're kind of getting to the point where I'm not going to be able to book them all in 1 month, even if I am running 5 concerts a week.
Sure.
I would like to do that. There are plans eventually to open up a larger venue space in addition, not in place of, the one we're currently using as well. And I would talk more about that in the future when we're getting closer to it.
Sure.
That way I'm not going to rely on anybody else because, well, I'm not now. I mean, it's important that we always have the options open, available to us, and that nobody's going to take it away.
Right.
I would also like to network with local colleges so they can have concerts there. Other things like nursing homes for music that's appropriate for there, or youth centers. In fact, I just had a lady contact me from Dover the other day who wants me to find her some musicians for the preschoolers, and I'm like thinking to myself, I hope I can do this.
Right.
Because and she was even motivated to ask me in Manchester for bands in Dover, and I'm like, well, maybe I can. We'll see.
Sure. Yeah. Oh wow, that's very cool. And for people who want to get involved, or because you mentioned you're always looking for volunteers.
I am.
I mean, how do people go about that? How do they find you? Or
Well, the best thing to do is to go to my website, which is, and you can find us on Facebook easily. Just look for the colorful microphone picture.
Yeah.
But if you go to thejamfactorynh.com. It's all one word except for the .com.
Yeah.
The Jam Factory NH. You can find at the top of the page my email, my phone number. Email me, call me, whatever. My number is public. Just go ahead and do it.
Sure.
That goes for volunteers. That goes for bands.
Yeah.
I mean, or single players. I don't care about skill level. I mean, skill can be trained. I'm here to help anybody who wants to become involved in the music scene and is serious about it have a shot.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, why don't we play another track?
All right.
Like we said, you brought a bunch of music from various artists that have played. What do you want to play now?
Well, why don't we, Red Letter Reunion, I got a song of theirs called Immortal.
Immortal?
Which they made it in memoriam for a friend of theirs who's passed on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. This is Immortal from Red Letter Reunion here on Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Matt from IPMNation.com here. And we have Sadi Khan from the Jam Factory. And this has been kind of a unique show, talking to somebody who is doing a lot, actually, in the local scene and with the Jam Factory. And you have shows at Rax all the time, every weekend except the last couple weekends in the year, right?
That's right.
Those last couple holiday weekends. So that's very cool. We should mention... Sadi has a cold, but was good to get here anyway. So sipping some water, and it's that time of year.
It is.
I was sick last week. We should mention again how people find you online.
Oh yeah, well they should go to thejamfactorynh.com.
Okay.
Make sure about the NH.
Okay.
Because you can not only pull up our concert schedule there, which I try to keep posted in advance, or you can email me or call me if you have questions. I mean, don't be shy,
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, you're always looking for new talent, new local talent, and you're looking for volunteers.
I am, because,
involved.
I run 3 or 4 concerts a week myself. I would like to start running 5 every week because the talent is there.
Yeah.
I mean, the metal bands, they need their own show. And because that really shouldn't be 21 plus. And hardcore punk, they need their own show too. And I currently hold 1 show each for them per month. I'd like to do 2 at least.
Yeah.
But I need some help.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's definitely a worthy goal. Do you have a steady pool of volunteers now? People who
No, actually, I've been doing pretty much everything myself.
Oh, no kidding.
there's various reasons for that. One of which is that until fairly recently, a lot of our roster was not first tier.
Yeah.
And I can't expect people to volunteer for an hour out. That doesn't really work.
Right.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, by the way, before I forget, we do have an open mic every Monday night from 8 to 10.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to get more people from the close area to come into that and just jam out.
And anybody who comes to the open mic who you want to mention who you've been really impressed with? Or?
Well, we just restarted it after about a hiatus, but so far so good. And by the way, while it's sort of done on an independent basis when there's space during the week, we do more than just music. We actually have a comedy night right now.
Oh, you do?
That is on the first and third Thursday of each month. Oh. And we have a poetry meet, which is, I think, from 5 to 7, the last Saturday of each month.
Yeah.
You can find these scheduled on Reverb Nation as well. It's not music, but they don't seem to care.
Yeah.
We do that. Whenever anything happens that is not music, it's done independently, so I don't really know what's going on, but hopefully it's good.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot going on there. That's awesome.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, Sadi, thanks very much for coming in tonight, man. This has been really cool.
My pleasure.
Something kind of different. And if you like what you heard tonight, if you want to download this, stream it, whatever, go to IPMNation.com/local outbreak. I almost did it again. I almost said localoutbreak.com. I don't know why I think I just have to build that site.
Hey, speaking of IPMNation.com, was there going to be an internet radio channel for the Jam Factory?
I believe so, actually, yes. It's good that you mentioned that. I forgot about that. Yeah, we're going to have a Jam Factory channel on IPMNation.com.
So all you musicians out there, you want to get your music on IPMNation.com, there's going to be a way. Just contact me.
Yeah, so look for that. Look for that very soon, actually. So maybe by the time this airs, that'll be up
we can hope so, yeah.
Yeah, definitely doable. So definitely check that out. And also go to centralnhevents.com. If you need a DJ for your event, contact Mr. Tim Martin. Look at his picture. He's a handsome man. Give him a whirl. That's his new slogan. And mention Shindig and get the Shindig discount. CentralNHEvents.com if you need a DJ for your Shindig. And Sadi, we'll wrap up with one more tune. And what do you want to play to wrap up the show?
Well, I would like to play a song by one of my local acoustic bands, meaning more than one player, from Hudson. They're called Fairweather Musicians.
Local Outbreak on 100.1 The Planet. Thanks, Sadi.
You're welcome.
But when you take me out and talk to me. We'll hang around and catch some fleas. 2 times we've seen what we can be, so just set us free.
100.1 The Planet's local outbreak with IPMNation.com.
The Planet's local outbreak is recorded weekly at the studios of 100.1 The Planet. It's engineered by Tim Martin of CentralNHEvents.com. Matt Connerton of IPMNation.com is the host of The Planet's local outbreak. The show is produced and edited by Annie Biello of 100.1 The Planet. For artist links and details about The Planet's local outbreak, log on to The Planet's Entertain Me page, WPNHFM.com. The Planet's local outbreak is available for download anytime online, IPMNation.com/local outbreak. The Planet's local outbreak is a product of 100.1 The Planet and Northeast Communications.
IPMNation.com.